Hello Virgo, I am Ulrich, I am a Lenormand card reader, but today we will do the psychological, philosophical and spiritual card reading for the sign of Virgo for the month of January. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Virgo for the month of January, and these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are immediately connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol spray represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Virgo, here we go for your psychological, philosophical, and spiritual card reading for the month of January. I want to add, if you have questions, you can always post them in the comments below, and of course, as soon as I have time, I will answer them. So Virgo, here we go for your card reading. Hello Virgo, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your spiritual, philosophical card reading and also psychological. As the first card here, we see that we should celebrate ourselves, or we should be happy. If we are not, we should be. This card tells us here. Here we see that mostly if you have this card, there's a certain energy, there's a fire in our belly here, there's a light, the spirit is in our eyes here. Mostly also with this card, people appreciate our company. We could also be an inspiration to other people. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, here we see that we mostly are led by something above us, and also we should not be afraid to share certain joys with other people here. We need to stay true on our mind and what we feel inside of us. So it's a time for celebration, a time for enjoyment here, but also a time for enjoying the people around you, people that you are close to. Mostly also we are an inspiration for others here. We pose strong also in general towards others. Also there are certain accomplishments, maybe on the work front, maybe on your daily life front, that we are happy with. Anyway, here we are taught that our ego, it's about to support, or it's needed that our ego supports our higher spirits here and learn new things to the next level here. We need to be more open. We need to celebrate our mind here. Our ego is the personality that we develop through time, who we are. And here now we see that our personality or our ego, it starts to relax more in this new situation that we are in, and there is more a kind of trustly environment that we are seeing here. It's like this: the ego, the personality, and the spirit here are about to come together here. And here, normally with this card, there's a kind of blessing over us, a protection above us. For some, will it call a blessing of the gods here. It points that in general that we are on the right track and we need to stay on course. The next card that we are seeing here, you see that the sheep here, it takes its distance from the crowd here, and here it points that we are physically or mentally need to stay a little bit here away from the crowd at certain moments. We can celebrate us, but also we need to create a certain distance. Maybe enjoyment is good, but sometimes also we need to see that there is not too much chatter, not too much noise about us. Here we see here that we need to be able here to hear ourselves things. Sometimes with this card, it's like there is so much noise and things going on in our life that we cannot think anymore for ourselves here. We need to find ourselves back. We need to go in ourselves here. It's like maybe it's always working, and it's like our ego, the personality that we build here. It's like it robs us from certain consultations and connections with the higher self here. This is what we are seeing here with this card. It's possible also with this card, even though you are in close connection with other people, with your social contacts, it's possible also that you have a feeling, maybe I should stop caring about these people here. Maybe if you think you care too much for others, your life would be collapsing, and it would be turning into a drama. Of course, this is not the case here. Anyway, it's good point that you are very vigilant, that you observe. Virgo is a very observative sign, and it could be that we actually vigilantly observe other people here with this card, foreseeing what we need to do here. We take some distance, but at the same time also we should not stop caring about others. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, we should take some time out, to some time alone. It's important sometimes that we are on ourselves here, and we go back, as they say, to the source of ourselves here. We need to silence the litany of life here, also outside opinions here, the plague of sometimes also from social media here. We need to distance ourselves here from it. We need to take maybe it's some time for ourselves, maybe a few minutes. If you have more time, we need to spend some time with our inner mind here to make our mind feel more at ease, at rest here. So it requires distance. The last card that we see here is that we need to catch our breath. What does this means? Well, we know, as we said earlier, that Virgo is a hard worker, and here we see that your ego, your personality that you build, it makes you work very hard. Probably sometimes with this card, it means that we are never happy what we are working. It's never enough. But here this card tells us, as the first one did here, that we need to, the second, sorry, that we are seeing here, we need to reconnect with our mind. We need to take a step back again and catch our breath. Breathing is the breath of life. So here we see that we are that we need to catch our breath. Your life is not gonna fall apart because you take some time out. You need to take a break from false urges, emergencies that you created, that your ego created, and I cannot do without. Here we see, or you think you cannot do without. Here we see that we need to realign with ourselves here. We need to reconnect here with our higher mind here, and you need to realize that's important that you take, as we saw earlier, that we relax. We have two relaxing cards here. You can work, but here we see that probably we are a little bit out of balance. We need to celebrate who we are, and we need to find the balance back. Working is fine. Working is fine for a living, but you need to take some time off here. Here, we need to clear our mind, and we need to follow our intuition, our feeling here. So detach yourself here from the personality that always works, the ego that always wants to work here, and find back here. We need to find back a kind of divinity in ourselves here. And also we need to find this as we are breathing, as we are resting here. Something above us here needs to come back in control. So here this card tells us that we need to take a distance from working overtime and too much work. So Virgo, this is all for the water group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this spiritual, philosophical, and psychological card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. Anyway, if you are interested in more earthly card readings financially, or the classic Lenormand card readings, you can find a lot on my channel. Anyway, Virgo, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, and I thank you for doing so. Thank you, Virgo. Bye-bye. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the air group for your spiritual, psychological card reading. And it's also anyway, this first card that we see here, we need to probably we close ourselves off a little bit for certain reasons in our life. Maybe we detach from certain people in our life, and here this card tells us here, if we close ourselves off here, we need to open our heart again here with this card here. Also, this points to that we need to love ourselves. Sometimes there are circumstances in our life that happened, and sometimes the ego or the personality that we built is not in vibration with the ego. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes it's difficult. It's a difficult exercise here that we need to do, or maybe you did some difficult exercises in our life. I mean, mental exercises to adjust what is deeper inside ourselves. But here we see we need to try to open our heart here. Here also we see that sometimes we cannot taste life at fully if our heart is not open. We miss out also in some things on our life. Here it tells us, our higher self here, that you might not be in vibration with at certain points here. It tells us here that you need to try to approach things in a more positive way. Here we need to be more welcoming here. This is what we are seeing here, whatever that means for you. Anyway, it's especially important here now at this time, at this moment here, we open our heart, because here there are some energies, some vibrations here that are about to come to you and that try to give you the gift of love, and you, in your way, you can share this gift to others here. Here we see that deep inside ourselves, we know there's the spirit of life is inside of us, and also it's connected also for some people here, or for most of us, to love. And here we see that we are not able also, if we don't open our heart, to receive certain graces in our life here. This is what we are seeing here. It's possible that we have bad experiences in our life before, and we had pain, or some people caused us pain here, and we don't want these pains, these disappointments again, and we closed ourselves off because we don't want to experience these pains again. Here we see here, if we close ourselves off and we try to protect ourselves here, but sometimes it could be that this is actually the source of pain. Sometimes if we have difficult experience in our life, we grow and we come in different connections. I'm not saying this is an easy exercise, because I'm aware it's not, but here it's like our personality or the ego that we built. It's trying to convince us to disconnect from the deeper sources of life here. And here we need to see here that actually we need to have a good heart, a good will here. And if you do so, if you open your heart, more of your dearest wishes here, because we see here a person with, or persons with deep wishes here, will be more reconnected with those wishes here. Some things need to come back and or enter in your life, but here we see we need to believe on it. We need to be, for people it means we need to be less realistic and more spiritual. This is what we are seeing here. You need to believe in it, it's there. And then the next card here, that is that we need to go with the dance of life here. If you do so, it will be beneficial for life here. We need to see that we literally fly in the sky here. We need to release ourselves here. Here we need to also concentrate on life itself. It's possible that you have somebody who is very close to you here, and the dance is with the both of you here. Maybe there is an enthusiastic partner, a physical partner here. If this is not a physical partner, this is life that sometimes wants to dance with us. It wants to be in harmony. It wants to be in balance here. And if you do so, your personal joy, your joy in life, it will increase. But sometimes, as we saw with the first card, we need to open our heart. We need to surrender ourselves to life. We cannot lock or close ourselves down here with this combination. Sometimes also with this card here, we could be quite analytic. We know that Virgo is a very analytic sign. It can really do vivisections. It can really analyze a person very deep. But here we see that this card tells us to watch our word, watch our language, watch also our body language here, because it's like our personality. It wants to interfere with what the deeper self in ourselves it wants here. And here we need to see that we come on a certain vibration, a certain rhythm, and we need to be confident about it. Here we need to sometimes stop with the analyzing and also stop talking. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and sometimes Mercury, he talks too much. And here we are urged here to go more into our heart, do less talking here. We need to relax here. This is what we are seeing here. We need to follow the higher mind here. And for this rest, if it's difficult to find us, we could go in nature here. We could take a walk in the beach. We can take a walk in a quiet area here. Here also, sometimes if we want to reconnect with certain vibrations, something music is also a good outlet here because there are vibrations in music, and sometimes we can come back in the dance of life with music here. So let your mind move here. If you are a very physical type, you can literally dance wild here for a few minutes, really for letting yourself out. But this card tells us also to do this for a few days in a row to find back here our deeper selves here. The more you embody this dance of life and this other vibrations, you will come closer to your target, closer to your goal here. What is your actual goal in life? So let yourself here, this card tells us to be taken away, carried away on the rhythm of life and the flow of life. The last card here, it tells us that probably in certain areas of our life, we need to say no. Maybe some things are around you that are not in your best interests, as we saw earlier, probably connected to what we just mentioned here. And here we see that we see the same here again. We need to honor ourselves more. We need to have a more deep inner love here. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes also this points that there is a toxicity, like there's something toxic around us here. And here, sometimes we cannot see it here. It's possible also that we distance ourselves, as we see here, and that for some people, maybe we act unconsciously unloving towards other here. And this has actually, as we saw earlier, it has a negative influence on the people around us, on our advancement in life here. We need to think about this if we are not going against the flow, because sometimes this card here, it tells us we go against the flow of life, against the dance of life here. Here also this card tells us that human beings normally have the given of free will. Of course, if we take certain decisions and we make choices in life, we are free to make those choices. But of course, if we make choices here, we have consequences. Maybe there were choices before that you made and you are not happy with the consequences. Sometimes we make the wrong choices in life here, and it might be difficult here. And that's why maybe you don't vibrate on the dance of life and you closed off our life. We always come in the same context here. Anyway, sometimes also it points that we have taken certain decisions in our life that have led to this present situation, and we closed ourselves off here. So here we are urged, if we would interact with other people around us that might be close to us, that maybe we are a little bit toxic, or the choices that we have taken before were not actually good for us or were toxic. And here we see that we need to find ourselves back here. So here we need to reject what is not useful for us. If you look inside yourself, you will see here what is not useful for you. Here it's possible, like here we see in the card, that we turn away from certain circumstances, or we should turn away from certain circumstances that are not good for us and that prevent us from taking the dance of life that we really should take. So Virgo, this is all for the group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this psychological, philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are connected here. If you are more interested in more earthly card readings like finances or work, you can find those also on my channel. You can also find the classic Lenormand card readings there. Anyway, Virgo, I want to thank you for your time. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, and I thank you for doing so. Thank you, Virgo, and bye-bye for now. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for your philosophical, spiritual, and psychological card reading. As the first card here that we see here, this card tells us that we need to fill the wells here. Probably we feel a little bit weaker. Maybe we're under the weather. It's possible also some of these group, their body is really tired. Sometimes also it could mean that we are emotionally overwhelmed here. Virgo is a sign of the mind. It's possible here also with this card that we continuously think and it makes us tired here. It's sometimes here that we cannot connect with our mind here. But here sometimes we see our ego, our personality that we built as a human being here, that we are. It's sometimes here that our ego, the personality that we build, it makes us work, it makes us do certain things that might not be in harmony with who we really are. It's like we are running here a kind of treadmill. And here this card tells us we need to take a break here. Here, if we continue as we do right now, this card tells us here that we will run out of energy, we will run out of fuel, literally here. And here we see that we need to refuel ourselves. Sometimes also for some people of this group here, we literally need to be taken care of by others here. This could be by simple things, but anyway, sometimes we need to ask for support for certain things from friends, from soulmates, from people who are close to you. And sometimes we need to ask for physical support. Sometimes also we have a lack of love here, but this can be simply solved by asking a friend over, ask them to dinner. You can ask if you have a partner to massage yourself or a friend to massage you, or you can make an appointment in a local spa for a massage. If you have a dog, you can take a walk in the forest or in the park for relaxing your mind here. Anyway, the important thing here is that we reach out to others for finding or regaining our balance here. This card mostly tells us it's difficult to do it alone because we are about to run dry here. Our well is dry here. We have less energy and we really need to find our soul family. This means not literally the family, but people who are literally in vibration with us. Our family is nice and they are close to us, but sometimes for certain things, with family, it cannot be solved. It's possible that you find these vibrations in your family, but necessarily so. Sometimes we can find this with soul friends or the soul family or a soul friend here. Anyway, here we see that our higher mind, it asks us to let us self-support here. We cannot be hesitant. We need to do it. If your ego tells you, I cannot do this like that, here we need to see that our personality actually brought us in where we are now. And we need to readjust this situation here. Anyway, if you ask to others that where you are closely connected here, if you reach out, you will see that these people are actually delighted to look after you, to take care of you here. Of course, here we need to. There's a word of caution here in this card. We cannot ask people who are more exhausted than we are because this will not work. Anyway, here there are a lot of possibilities available, more than the ones you see. So you need to open your eyes here and visit a massage therapist, visit a friend here. For some people also, they can go to a concert, listen to music, a certain vibrations in music. It can relax us. For other people, this could mean a baseball game, or for some people, they could talk to a qualified counselor. It all depends on your personality and how in what stage that you are. Anyway, here we are told that we are not alone in this quest here. And if you reach out to others, also the people around you, your family, your friends here, everybody will benefit from it. The next card here, it tells us to be brave. It's possible here also that our ego, that's the personality that we built, it's like we are intimidated, and there are certain challenges in our life that we turn away from, or we literally want to run away from. Here, maybe there are some things in your life that you always justify. For instance, we can always say, yes, but I need to do this and I need to do that. And you come in a certain trap here. Anyway, we should not always justify ourselves. Maybe there's some adjustments needed here. Arguments that you find in yourselves are not necessarily valid for taking the next step. Maybe there's a kind of afraidness here. And it's like you cannot live your life to fully. Things are lacking here in your life. And here we need to recognize that actually maybe there's an afraidness here in ourselves, but we need to accept this as a normal emotion. It's part of life here. And our ego sometimes wants to make us scared if we want to take certain different roads in ourselves. But we are reminded that actually our mind is fearless. So now it's time to be courageous here. And here also this card tells us that we are supported from a higher source, also from a deeper well here. Excuse me, inside ourselves here, we are supported in depth here if we want to make some changes in yourself. There's a kind of divine part inside yourself, in your deeper, darker well here, that will make you courageous if you want to find it here. It means that we have the support here from the universal forces here with this card here. Don't think that that life is against you, because this card tells us exactly the opposite, but there's a scaredness here that we have. There's a kind of fear here, and we need to accept this fear as normal. And if you accept these fears as normal, we will evolve more. Also, sometimes this card is about health. So if you need to make certain health decisions in your life, be aware, think wisely, give it some time. If something is about to influence your life, if you are about to make certain health decisions that influence you and maybe other people, be very aware of this. If we make certain decisions in our life, this could be have consequences on the long run. So if you come in contact with certain people for your health, inform yourself well, look around you, what is happening. It's very important here with this card to do so, that we take a deeper look if we make certain health decisions in our life. The last card here that we are seeing here, it tells us that we probably have put up our creativity in or on top of the closet, and it's time here that we see the broom here, that we stop cleaning the house and we be creative here. Here we need to see that probably here we see that we have a kind of artisticity inside of it. Could be in many fronts. Maybe you're a good cook, maybe you're a musician. There's a musician inside yourself. There's many forms of art here, and this card is about we need to express ourselves here. So here we need to let our creative mind work. We cannot let our ego and our personality talk not about it. This is not about work and daily work. This is about your deeper mind and getting in touch. Some people are creative with writing a poem. They are good painters here. There's a lot of possibilities here. There's also musicians in this group. There are people who are good artists with taking photographs. Anyway, there's a lot of possibilities here. Some people cook a gourmet meal here. Mostly Virgo is also quite good with the hands in the garden here. They have a lot of them have natural skills here for the garden here, and they can make easy things grow. But maybe you lock that part off, you put it on top of the closet, you put it in the closet here, and you should find this expression or this field of artistry. You need to find it back here. So you need to take a chair, go on the closet, or look inside yourself here for finding your artistic experiences back here. If you do so, it will be something for your own good. And probably we locked it off. It's like our ego, our personality that we built. It made us, through life, through certain circumstances, we locked this off. But here this card tells us, if you open it up, you will become more in control. Maybe you think the opposite, but it's not. If we are creative with this card, you will see certain things will come to you in a positive way. Especially don't see this as a waste of time, and it has no value, because sometimes we could think that, for instance, if we are creative, that this is a standstill, but it's actually not, because many standstills in our life prove to catch up with themselves. We need to be aware here with this card, if we are creative and we spend time in creativity, that the universe has a way of balancing itself out. So this is what we are seeing here. So don't think this has no value. It's possible here that we are suffocated by the personality that we built. We paralyzed here. Sometimes some people here would have literally paralyzed their creative mind here, and we cannot joyfully express ourselves here. So here we need to silence our personality. So take your brush, take your old guitar back on top of the closet, do something that you didn't do for a long time. But here we are urged in a very high manner to be creative here. You will do this. This will be very important for yourself. So listen to music, be creative here, because here the higher spirits or your higher selves, they tell us here, it's very critical position here for your ego to do so. You need to express yourself here with this card through any form of art, whatever this is, from writing, poetry. You need to find something back that you know, that you are aware, that you are good at. And you know for yourself, if you look inside yourself, just look around you and remember what you were once very good at. Or if you are not creative here, if you are a younger person and you are not creative, this tells us to find our creative gifts. This is then another way for looking at it. So Virgo, this is all for the Stone Group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you are more interested in more earthly card readings, there are financial card readings. There are all kinds of card readings on my channel here that are more down to earth. Work card readings also we do there. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, Virgo, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for your time, Virgo. Bye bye for now. Virgo, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your philosophical psychological card reading for the month of January. The first card here is that probably there are some people around us that we might need to apologize to. Maybe some things happened in the past year. Maybe we made up a list of excuses why not to apologize, but this card, or maybe to justify certain behaviors here, maybe other people felt threatened. Maybe they felt that even sometimes in more extreme, it could be that these people see you, that you have evil behavior, maybe bad intentions here. Anyway, this is not you, this is not the deeper you. This is, we all build up an ego, and this ego or this personality, it protects itself here. And it's in general, it ignores also the influence of others, because it's sometimes our personality, it's defending itself here. Anyway, if we relate to our higher mind, our higher state of being here, we could actually easily apologize for certain mistakes, certain misunderstandings that might be obvious and that are easy to see. Here, this card tells us also that we need to realize that we are all students of life here. We make mistakes here. It's part of the essential process that we are undergoing here as a human here on this planet here. And here it tells us that our mind is alive here, and maybe the best way for handling the present situation would be forgive people here, or ask for forgiveness here about certain mistakes that are made. Maybe there was a mutual disagreement here, and you should forgive here each other and move on here. Anyway, it's possible also that we literally caused physical pain to another person, or we made somebody, his mind suffering here. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes in more minor cases, it points that we have harshly spoken to some people around us. Maybe you made them doubt themselves here. Maybe you're dampening their inner spark of fire, their intelligence here. Anyway, sometimes also this could point to jealousy that there could be in play here. This is what we are seeing here, or we actually were disrespectful to other people's mind here. This is what we are seeing here. Maybe the jealousy is to the state of mind of the other way, and we acted in a disrespectful way here. This is what we are seeing here. Anyway, here we see probably that if we do so, we diminish actually the light of others, and it's causing probably certain people pain. And we need to look deep inside ourselves here, and we need to be able here to say, I'm sorry. We need to, if it's difficult for us here, so don't let your personality, your ego stopping you here, because this is an important healing process here for both parties here. It might it might be that you feel depleted here inside here. But here, this tells us if you make excuses here and to others here, you will feel different here. So try to apologize if some people, or if there were some disagreements with people. The next card that we are seeing here, it tells us that it's time to say yes. What does this mean? Well, it's possible here that the personality that we built through years here, we become fearful here sometimes. Sometimes it means we're holding back here. We are scared not to be vulnerable. And it could be related to the first card, that we protect ourselves and that we are quite assertive, maybe even aggressive towards other here. And we build up like a panzer around. It's like we need to feel safe, and we could overreact towards some people. But here we see here that our personality, our ego that we build up, it actually feels never safe. It just reacts here. But if we go inside ourselves here, we need to see here that some things are going on here. If you don't apologize, as we see in the first card here, sometimes we miss important moments in our life. And sometimes when the train comes in the station, we need to step on. There are certain things that are about to evolve in our life. And maybe the apologize here from the first card is needed here, so you don't miss the next moment. So it might be important that you apologize, because maybe you miss out on some things in life here. Anyway, here we are invited here to circulate with life here, but it's possible that our personality, our ego, it prevents us from certain things. There could be jealousy, there's something here going on here that prevents us from apologize here. Anyway, I'm aware here, this card tells us also there are certain, if we apologize, we show ourselves as vulnerable here. But we need to take the risk here, this card tells us, and some things are about to unfold in front of you. So you should take the advantage of the moment here. If you do so, you will achieve very good results here, because the ball is about to run. So here we are entered here to enter the flux of life. So don't miss the train here. If you need to apologize, it's time to say yes here, to act and to live here. And the last card that we are seeing here, this card tells us not to take things in the wrong way. It's possible here, the laying is about apologizing here, the whole laying here. It's possible also that we build up a very thick panzer. And if people try to penetrate this panzer, we are easy to be insulted. Maybe some people are still able to penetrate us, and we start to criticize, mocking others here. This is possible here. And then you think to yourself, how could these people do that to me? It's possible also with this card that we have built up some imaginary horrors in our head here. But actually it's something that is in our head. And here we need to be able to find our peace of mind back here. Don't think that somebody is persecuting you. There's people who have bad intention towards you. It's not here. We need to understand here that human beings, others, and we ourselves, we are all guided by our hormonal system, by our feelings. Everybody is in a different stage in life, and sometimes we act and react to our hormonal conditions, to our feelings, our emotions here. It has an impact on others, and others has an impact on us. So here, this tells us not to feel offended by anyone here. Here we see it's just an emotional condition, and actually they can insult your personality, but actually they are unable to insult your deeper you. Here we need to ask ourselves what is really happening here. We need to make an analysis of the situation. Normally this is a very easy thing to do for Virgo. You need to ask yourself here, what is happening here? What am I attracting here in this situation? What can I learn from it? So we need to observe actually ourselves here and the personality that we built here. We need to pay attention here to behaviors of other people. And if they say something here, it might not be a personal affront towards us, or maybe we don't have the intention to give them a personal affront here. This is not what is happening here. There's something deeper going on here. We need to apologize here, and we need to, maybe we interiorizing somebody's behavior as a personal criticism, but there might be a kind of bitterness, maybe in the person, maybe inside of you, and maybe here we or the other person have accumulated certain sufferings here, and it comes out now. And actually this card tells us it deprives us of rest and peace here. It deprives us also from missing the moment here. So here we see that that we all have a deeper part of us here, and here we are. Our deeper self tells us here, or this card tells us here, to laugh at these petty complaints, the way other people behave. Just lift yourself above that, but in a spiritual way then, not by offending them, but lift yourself here. So let go of certain resentments that you have and pay attention to the current situation. And in general, this means that there are important lessons to be learned, but maybe you view them or you see them in the wrong way. And maybe also sometimes this is about self-worth. Maybe somebody insulted ourselves in the future, but here we need to see that we cannot doubt our own self-worth. Here we see that this person has a lot of skills, but there's a doubt here in self-worth. We need to remember here that we are all unique. We are precious. We have all our positives. We have all our negatives. And here you are asked, even if you analyze the situation and you see that it's the other's fault or it's your fault, here we are asked to turn a blind eye. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes if we let the situation rest and there was offensive behavior from whomever here, sometimes it's we are deprived of our inner light, sometimes it's other. So here we are asked to choose for peace of mind. So turn a blind eye, say yes to certain situations, apologize, and view the bigger picture here, and choose for peace in your life, and you wield better, and don't miss the train that is about to come in the station. This is very important here, what we are seeing here. Anyway, Virgo, this is all for the fire group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this spiritual philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. If you are more interested in more earthly card readings, financially, work card readings, or the classic Lenormands, you can all find them on my channel. Anyway, Virgo, I want to thank you for your time. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And I thank you for doing so. Thank you, Virgo, and bye-bye for now.